Alrighty, hello beautiful humans, and thank you for being here and watching this. We are at the 2022 Freedom Convoy in Ottawa, and we are talking to David and Sarah from the cab of their truck, which is far more spacious than what you'd think. And we're doing this because we want to share the story of the real people who are here claiming their freedom, and we want to tell the truth, because there's not a lot of people telling the truth these days, and this is important. So David, Sarah, thank you on behalf of Canada, and now actually starting to be the world, for being here. Maybe start by just introducing yourselves and where you're coming from and why you're here, in your own words.
Let's do it. Thank you for having us. Thank you for this awesome chat.
You're having us, by the way.
Thank you.
Truckers are the most thankful people on planet Earth. I say thank you to all of them, and they're like, thank you. I'm like, I didn't drive here from across the world.
Man, but the love has been just amazing, and that's starting off. We're from Calgary, Alberta. We are cross-border truckers, so we very often do our runs from Calgary down to California, Florida, Texas, a lot of the southern states there. And as you know, since the January 15, the mandates basically killed our work. We've been out of work, and that's why we're here. We're here to get our freedom back. We're here to stand up for what's ours. Let's take our Canada back. That's what we're here for.
I don't think people realize that you're literally fighting for your livelihood. Like, the way it's being portrayed is like, oh, some protesters are here. Actually, this is a stand for freedom and a celebration that we're coming together to do this.
Yeah.
And it's like, the few are claiming the freedom from the, the many are claiming their freedom from the few who think that they that they run the show.
Right.
Absolutely. And it's very different from how I think it's being portrayed. So,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
if like, in whatever words you want, why are you here? What, like, explain to people that are listening that might not know anything about this, why you're here, what brings you here, and then I'd love to hear about your most memorable experiences, maybe the most positive one and the most challenging one so far. So yeah, just reiterate, like, why did you come here? Why are you doing this?
Sure.
And then we'll talk about the highlight and maybe the low light.
I mean, my name is Sarah. I'm David's wife. I'm a truck driver. I mean, why we're here is ultimately it's up to the individual how best they want to live their life. Where they go to worship. Where they go to shop for food, where they travel. This is a freedom. You should be able to enter and leave your country unobstructed, without any restrictions. So, and it's up to the individual's choice with how they do that. And we want to live how we want to live, and we also want other people to live how they want to live, and that is their choice. I can't make that decision for them. A politician can't make that decision for them. Any religious person, any educational person, any public health person, anyone that claims themselves as a leader of the people, if you would say, that is not up to them. It's up to the individual. And one of the great things about Canada is we've got such an amazing, diverse group of people that come from everywhere to live here.
Right.
And right now, we've got all of these so-called leaders that aren't letting them do
strawberries. No, you're good.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that's the norm. Is people. She was giving away strawberries, and this is how we win. This is how everyone works together to do this. You're the heroes that started this off, but everyone that comes, I think. What I've observed is that, like, every little kid going around with a garbage bag, every person bringing food, like, this is how we unite and actually do this.
Definitely. I was going to say this definitely started with truckers, but it's not about truckers anymore. This is about all of us, about all of our freedoms. And as you can see, sure, we're doing a lot, but without the groundwork, without all the humbling work that we're seeing by everybody, the food, the help, the water, anything we need, we've been
showers,
blessed. People are opening up their homes. Our first night, people are helping in any way they can. Our very first shower here was actually at some 80-year-old grandma's house. That's
so good.
It was amazing. Honestly, she was when we got, somebody else drove us to her house because she couldn't drive. She couldn't really leave her house, but she really wanted to support us, and she had her house open. We had 5 guys go there, and we all had a great time. We had our coffee there. People just want to help in any way they can, and we definitely couldn't be lasting this long without the groundwork, without the help we're getting here. So thank you to everybody here too.
Absolutely. And I think, this is like, I mean, I don't know if I'm correct, but I believe that this is the first huge event that's really given Canada like an actual identity, because we are like, one of the great things about Canada is we're so diverse. That's amazing. One of the more things that comes with diversity is then you can't really find a common denominator amongst the people, but this is the common denominator, is we're all people. We all want to live the way we want to live, and we believe that we are the people. The people can make that decision, not the politicians. We're making that decision for us, and freedom is what unites us. And this is Canada. We're all one people. We're all one country. We're not two categories. We're not three categories. We're all just human at the end of the day. We're all people.
Yeah, and it's, you know, we in Ontario, like that's Quebec over the bridge. We see the Quebec-Ontario divide like pretty obviously, where there's a sense of identity where you're from Quebec or you're a Quebec or you have Quebec pride. But what's funny is Justin Trudeau, by essentially trying to snatch up all of our freedoms, unintentionally united our entire country. And I'm seeing people from Quebec, and I'm seeing people who are Sikhs, people who are Indian, people who are Black. Everyone is here for the same reason.
Absolutely.
And it's very powerful and actually very emotional. I've seen so many tears, and I've cried with more strangers in the past 4 days than I've cried in probably 2 years.
Absolutely.
And it's extremely powerful. And it's so hard to articulate this, right? Like it's very, I'm having conversations with people. I'm trying to get it across like what I'm observing, and I'm trying to observe deeply so that I can try and tell the story. It's impossible to convey this, right?
Absolutely.
And so, you know, the more of this stuff we do, the more we can convey the truth.
Definitely, because the big media is definitely not doing their job. So
no, and it's actually beautiful because they're self-canceling in real time, and we're observing it.
They are,
right?
Absolutely.
So it's like, okay, fine. It's like every piece of bullshit you see that is totally incongruous from what you're seeing is like them hitting another nail in their coffin, and independent media is gaining the spotlight, and it's amazing to see. Let's talk about your highlight experience. If you had to choose one, I know there's probably several, but like what's a really memorable positive experience you had? And then tell us a story of like a really challenging moment, an interaction with police, or an interaction that like really challenged you, and like, yeah, let's hear the positive one first. Start with the good news.
I think my favorite part of this whole thing is the support we're getting. Honestly, it has been amazing. All the way from, like, we're from Calgary, so all the way from Calgary to here, the support has been just crazy. Like, the love we're seeing is just amazing. Through all the overpasses, the people cheering, the notes that we are getting. We're getting some amazing notes. Let me just read you one actually right here. It says, "Dear trucker, thank you for the sacrifice you are making for all of us Canadians. May God bless you and keep you safe on this journey. Dave and Jean." We're getting some amazing messages like that. Honestly, I'm like getting emotional just reading this message right now. We got so many messages from young kids literally just thanking us for what we're doing. And honestly, this is not just us, it's literally everybody. And when we see those messages, it just literally hits home. It hits right in the heart. So we're very humble to get these messages. We're very humble to see the support. And it's amazing. Honestly, that's where I'll leave it. So
yeah, it's like the way I look at it when I walk around and I see, and I'm just trying to like be very observant. It's like all the truckers that came here are getting refueled with fuel, with food, and every person that comes by is refueling their hearts. And when that is the last one is the powerful energy source, is the one that you can't mess with, right? And it's like, I think every wave, every high, every hug is like, that I see is like, this thing is not stoppable. And I don't think people actually realize that. So Sarah, what's your highlight story one?
I mean, I'm just basically gonna reiterate what my husband said, is just like, because I mean, essentially, like we were trying to, you know, of course, like work up until, you know, we joined the convoy. So you know, we got to see the like the BC group kind of roll out. As they were rolling out of Delta, we're rolling in to drop off our last reefer load, and then, you know, drop in our, you know, very last one off at Calgary before joining up in Balgony in Saskatchewan. And yeah, just the most positive would just be like just seeing all the people coming and supporting, because I'm sorry, I'm just getting emotional.
It's okay.
And just like, I mean, all of our politicians and people, they're giving everyone a label, you know, they're calling people names. And like I said at the beginning, like we're all people, we're all human. And it doesn't matter who you can see with your eyes, people are coming from different backgrounds. You can hear the different languages, the different accents, everyone that makes Canada just like a beautiful, diverse country. And they all just want to live the way they want to live. They want to bring their own, diversity. They want to live that, whether that's a language, a religion, whatever it is. And all these labels, all this division is just so hurtful. And we're all just people at the end of the day. Like, we're people, and we want to live the way we want to live. And they're the best judge of that, not anybody else. And they really feel like that's been taken away from them. And so, yeah, that's just been the most positive experience, just seeing people, really wanting this back.
Right. Yeah, it's infectious too. And like I said, you can't explain this with words. Even video content doesn't actually convey this.
I feel like I'm just putting down everything that people have done. Like, I can't even put it into words.
You're not. This is it's just about sharing real stories from real humans, because that's what needs to get out. And the more of this that gets recorded and shared and put into the world, and with a sense of trust that the internet will propagate the truth. It's so funny, because to me this is like a siege battle, a peaceful siege battle, which is all about endurance. And when you pick a siege battle with the people who are masters of logistics and coordination, and are some of the hardest working, most honest Canadians, you can't win. You can't win. And the more this goes on, and it seems like truckers are very patient, the more this goes on, the more we're going to see of the lies, the more we're going to see of all of the twisting and manipulation of reality, and people are losing more and more trust in the politicians that claim to be leading us. So
absolutely.
It's history. You've seen, as soon as people turn against each other, they're done. And all this division, it's got to stop.
Break a country.
It's how you break a country. So this is unity, this is freedom, this is people coming together for that one common denominator, which is freedom.
Right.
True North, strong and free.
It's in our national anthem. With glowing hearts, we see thee rise. We are rising as a country.
Definitely.
Yeah, it's very powerful. Let's talk about your most challenging experience so far. And I'm sure there's been many. I think the first time I came down this row and saw your truck, I saw you it looked like you were being harassed by a police officer. And I thought it was beautiful that you were just honking the horn. And it was like, sorry, I can't hear you. My horn's going. It's the ultimate peaceful wall to be like, and I think at some point police and RCMP will have to make a choice. Definitely. They will have to make a choice. They will not, and not pretending to not make a choice is a choice. And they have to determine,
that's absolutely
correct. Are you here for Canadian people? Do you serve the Canadian people, or do you serve politicians? And do you realize that your actions may not be reflecting what might be nice for you to think, might not be the reality. And so, nothing but love to all the police officers, but I think a choice needs to be made.
Definitely.
And so let's talk about what's the most challenging interaction you've had that caused you, stress, and just let people know what it's like.
I want to start off actually by saying that I was hard impressed by how amazing the police have been from getting us from where we started in Calgary, BC to here. Roads were blocked for us, to help us roll together as a convoy. Police have been nothing but amazing through the whole way to get us here. Unfortunately, getting into Ottawa, getting into the main city, things changed a little bit. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but police were not very truthful with us. Tell this like it is, because you're an honest guy. And all I want you to do is tell people what happened. Don't sugarcoat it. Definitely.
We don't want to do that.
No, absolutely. So we were the biggest convoy, basically. We're the convoy that came all the way from BC, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba, even the beginning of Ontario. This was the biggest convoy. We had few thousand trucks cars come and rolling behind us. As you can see, there's probably about 50 or 40 behind us now in this group where we are. And that is exactly what the police did. They were not truthful with us. They said they were leading us into downtown area where we drove 4,000 kilometers to be here. That wasn't the truth. As you can see, thousands of trucks were put and blocked with graders at the beginning of the intersections away from downtown area, with actually no access to porta potties. And at the beginning, we didn't even have access to, people didn't even know where we were, because people were waiting for us in Parliament Hill. That was where our permit was for. And people didn't even know we were here. So the first couple of days, the police were not truthful with us. We were told we were going to be trickled in overnight when there's less people. That never happened. People at the back of the convoy were forced to turn around to cut us shorter. And I think the whole point of this is they don't want the big picture of all of us together. I think we look too good for them. We look too powerful for them, too united for them, and that's what they don't want the world to see. They want to make you feel that you're alone, nobody else is supporting you. And that was one of the biggest things, is unfortunately for the past 2 years, me and my wife, we thought we were the only two people that are doing this. We're the only two people that are kind of resisting, and you feel so alone. You feel there's no support, right? We've lost family members over this. There's parents that don't talk to us. There's siblings that don't talk to us over this, right? And we thought we're very alone, but then you come here and you see this crazy amount of support. Man, there's like literally half the country, if not more, is standing behind this, and it just blows your mind. Like, it makes you even wonder, man, like, I don't even know if these numbers that are getting posted online by
90% of truckers, like, it doesn't matter who, like, people don't support this. The majority of Canadians don't support this. It's like, are you going and asking every single person? Are you there talking to them? Because isn't that
I've never been asked into for.
No one's ever asked us.
And again, it's
a war of misinformation, right? Because everything is so manipulated. Everything, when you force everyone to separate from each other face to face, the only pipeline information becomes social media, digital media. And if you have full control over censoring and determining what gets out there, and you have an unlimited budget because you can make as much money as you want to put that out there, you can manipulate people in radical ways, and it's super sad. But when people can talk together, when this happens, and ideas are shared, and love is shared, and support is shared, it's like, it's infectious, and it can't be stopped.
Absolutely. Well, and I mean, I can't exactly place a timeline, because it just seems like everything just happens in like a whirlwind, but there's like an anonymous line that people are calling when your neighbor has too many friends over. If you have more than, it's different for every province, like 1 cohort, 2 cohort, like the safe 10, it's kind of like,
it's gross.
Like just different things like that. And it's like, there's an anonymous hotline. Like, people are worried that their neighbors, their family are gonna, tell on them and get a fine. Like, people are out of work, they don't have money.
It's dividing the people.
It's dividing the people. It's breaking that, that playful banter that needs to happen when different ideas are thrown around. When you only have 1 or 2 people to talk to, you're safe 10, you're safe 5, whatever that is, like, you do feel alone. And we're not alone.
And to clear it up, we are not here to be pro anything or against anything. We're just here for pro-choice. We're just here for pro-freedom. We're just here. If you want something, you go do it.
If
you don't want something, don't do it. That's what we're here for. We're standing for freedom of choice.
Like, all we're doing is actually telling politicians that we demand that the Canadian Charter of Rights is honored. That's not a big ask, and that's actually not what's being told to people about what this is about, right? Like, for the record, we just want the freedoms and rights that people died in wars to fight for, so that we could have them and be strong and free in Canada. And it's so important for people to realize, number one, if people want this to end, they need to tell the politicians to end it. They're the ones with the keys to end it. We are here to claim freedom. Politicians are making this go on and making people suffer way longer than it needs to be. The blame needs to go to where the blame is due, which is politicians.
Absolutely.
Who aren't even, by the way, coming out to face the people who have come here for answers. So that tells you something about their character, and the fact that we have a spineless prime minister he's showing his character to the world.
Even if as a prime minister, even as a politician, even if you're against all of this, man up, stand up, talk to your people, man. Your people are here to talk to you. So people are in your city to talk to you, and unfortunately, he flew to the other side of the country.
I don't even know where he is right now. He said he's in an undisclosed location. Is he next door? Is he in Tofino? Is he in his vacation cottage?
That's the thing, is man up, talk to your country.
Well, and it's so, it's very strange, because when they said there's too much danger, Justin Trudeau's leaving, if there was, like, Prime Minister detail guys came out and basically said, if there was any threat, nothing would be said. It would be silently it would be silently executed to remove the prime minister.
Yeah.
So the fact that they said that to the media is a straight up lie.
Yeah.
And the lies are getting more obvious and more blatant. Yeah. And it's literally just increasing how much unity we have amongst everyone in Canada. Which is like, okay, you want to keep going and keep making people suffer? You're to blame. You're eventually going to have to take responsibility. So thank you both for being here and literally, I lost any pride. I was starting to lose my Canadian pride over the past 2 years, and it like ate away at my soul. Yeah, because this actually is a beautiful country. And then, when you see the Canadian spirit come here, and people like yourself sacrifice to come here to claim freedom for all of us, it's like very inspiring. So thank you.
The unity has been amazing, seriously. I got a comment on where we're parked. We're kind of locked a couple kilometers outside of Parliament Hill from where we are, and it's like the kind of a closed construction road. But we're just walking into Parliament Hill. It is impressive, straight up impressive. How clean,
pristine,
how peaceful, how amazing every single person downtown is. Not a mask, no signs on the floor. I'm pretty sure it's cleaner than when we came. It's
cleaner than what Ottawa usually is.
Literally, I'm pretty sure people are putting even more effort to clean, take care of. Even I'm hearing those, excuse my French, BS language, BS.
You can
things
swear.
we're hearing, we're hearing all these stories about they're defacing statues or whatever.
So I walk
people
by the
are there protecting the statues.
Twice a day. There's a guy standing beside the Terry Fox statue who hasn't left.
Fox sign.
And there's veterans at the War Memorial dropping off roses.
Them.
Like it's pretty disturbing to see how much they're trying to manipulate everyone. And I mean, we're gonna win. We are winning.
Absolutely.
We're here for the long haul. Hey, we're truckers. We can wait. Let's see who can last longer.
Oh, and people forget there's always like an objective truth to things, and then there's a subjective truth. The subjective truth is subjective to who you are, your background, your education, your language, like everything that makes you, that is going to be a subjective truth.
And what you witnessed.
What you witnessed is even subjective. Like we can both stand here and watch something, and you're going to come out with a different truth than I'm going to come out. And then there's...
Hello. Hey, I need to talk to Dave for a second.
Sure, go for it.
Sorry.
That's okay. We're just interviewing him.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you
End it, and then we'll